The movie begins with Dr. Robot-nik, also known as Eggman, stranded on the Mushroom Island after being defeated by Sonic the Hedgehog. In order to keep busy, he tries to acquire the taste of his recent invention, the mushroom coffee, but it is beyond palatable. Dr. Robot-nik believes he will get out of this prison, and when he does, he will get his hands on the blue hedgehog who did this to him. He has a quill from Sonic that he uses to power his makeshift machine that opens a ring portal to some other world, much to his surprise, as he falls to the ground from being shocked by the electromagnetic field generated by Sonic's quill. He notices some fighters entering the mushroom planet from the ring portal. He manages to get rid of them with the traps he has set all around his interim home of 243 days. As he dashes toward the ring portal to escape once and for all, he stops dead in his tracks when he notices Knuckles the Echidna, who has come in search of Sonic. When he notices the quill in Dr. Robot-nik's hand, he asks him how to get his hands on Sonic. Robot-nik makes his acquaintance and he is ecstatic to have found a way out of his misery. Next, we see Sonic, who thinks of himself as a hero of Seattle and tries to help mankind whenever he can. However, most of his vigilante work ends up in disasters. When he tries to stop a truck from robbers, it does not end well because he throws the robbers out of the truck and single-handedly manages to blow up a garbage truck as well as the city's sewerage line in an attempt to get rid of the bombs found in the truck. From his viewpoint, he was only getting the bombs away from humans so he could save the people. He manages to dismantle the robbery truck just in time before it crashes into some people by the ice cream truck. In short, wherever Sonic goes, chaos is sure to follow. Sonic returns to his home in Green Hills, where he lives with his favorite human Tom Wachowski and his girl Maddie, along with their dog Ozzy. When Maddie reminds him that Tom is waiting for him as he promised him a day of fishing, Sonic sacrifices his sleep and goes to meet Tom. In the boat, Tom finds Sonic drooling in his sleep and thinks of it as the perfect time to school him that he should cut down on his heroic activities, because recently his reckless behavior has caused more harm than good. Tom says that destiny will find him when he is actually needed for a purpose, and Sonic is impressed by the wisdom imparted to him. He promises to take responsibility for his actions. Next, Maddie and Tom need to make it to Hawaii for the wedding ceremony of Rachel, Maddie's sister. Sonic makes things easy for them since he opens a ring portal for them in their very lounge, and once they leave, he is very happy to be in charge of the house without any supervision. He plans to have a whole lot of fun in the next 48 hours. He trashes the entire home as nothing can come in his way of having fun. But that is no problem for him because he fixes everything with his supersonic speed, just in time for FaceTime Tom, who calls to check on him, Ozzy, and House. Meanwhile, a portal ring appears near Sonic's home, and out steps Miles Tails Prower, who has been tracking Sonic since he needs to warn him about the danger that is headed his way before it is too late. At nighttime, Sonic and Ozzy are chilling in the TV lounge when they hear a strange noise that scares Ozzy. Sonic is shocked to find Dr. Robot-nik at his doorstep, having made his way back to the Earth with the help of a ring portal. Just when is about to remind him that coming here was not a good idea, he steps aside, and that is when Knuckles punches Sonic, hurling him through the walls. Sonic tries to defeat him, but his powers are no match for Knuckles. Sonic says he'll never give his powers to him, but Knuckles laughs it off because he had nothing to do with that. He wants revenge, because Sonic is the reason his entire family is no more. As it turns out, when Sonic was in the apprenticeship of Longclaw, the last time he saw Longclaw was during the ambush of the Echidna clan. Sonic lost Longclaw, and apparently, Knuckles lost his entire clan and his father in that battle. This is why he wants revenge on the blue hedgehog. Just as Knuckles is about to smash Sonic again, a police car comes crashing into him. It is Tails, who is controlling the car with his gadgets. He introduces himself to Sonic and tells him to get in the car if he wishes to save himself from Knuckles. As they speed through the city, Sonic is worried about such a tough warrior who is out for his blood. Tails explains to Sonic that another reason Knuckles wants Sonic is that he believes that Sonic is the key to acquiring a precious item called the Master Emerald that will give the owner all powers over the Chaos Emeralds. They are interrupted by Knuckles, who gains on them, but Tails deliberately crashes the car with Knuckles on it while rescuing Sonic. He flies them both to safety with the help of his tails. Sonic asks Tails to help him find the Master Emerald so he can put an end to this fiasco. Next, Dr. Robot-nik finds Knuckles and saves him. He asks him to join hands with him to find the Master Emerald, and in return, he will help him get his revenge on Sonic. Dr. Robot-nik tracks his assistant Agent Stone, who is currently working as a barista at his own cafe. He still revels in the past and misses his boss. When Robot-nik gets in touch with him again, Agent Stone cannot believe his luck. He instantly transforms his coffee shop into a lab where they can work on their next mission, which is to track Sonic. He brings in the pod from space that manages to round up all of Dr. Robot-nik's drones. Meanwhile, Rachel pretends she is over the last episode with Tom when she introduces the couple to her fiancé Randall, but secretly tells him that if he tries to ruin the wedding, she will have him destroyed. Seeing Randall surrounded by his friends, Tom wishes Sonic could also have a group of his own friends. Sonic and Tails pay a visit to Wade's house since they cannot go back to Sonic's place, which looks like a battlefield after the encounter with Knuckles. Once there, they discuss that they need to find a way to get to the Master Emerald before Robot-nik and Knuckles. Sonic has no clue about the emerald except that he thought it was a part of bedtime stories until now when creatures like Knuckles have started looking for it. Suddenly he remembers an emerald on the map Longclaw gave to him. When he touches it, suddenly it lights up and Longclaw's hologram informs him that the reason he was sent to Earth was to protect the Master Emerald, which has the ability to convert thoughts into energy, which could prove catastrophic if it ends up in the wrong hands. It was Longclaw's sacred duty to keep it hidden, but as Longclaw is no more, it is now Sonic's responsibility. The hologram disappears after telling Sonic she loves him so dearly. Once they figure out through the map that they need to head to Siberia to retrieve the compass that will point them in the right direction, Sonic uses a portal ring to get to Siberia with reluctant Tails. When they get to Siberia, Tails and Sonic disguise themselves and go to a bar. Being the tech geek Tails is, he tries to communicate with the Russians, but the translation does not work out well, and he ends up insulting them. They figure out the disguises, and just as they are about to throw them into the fire, Tails suggests a dance-off challenge. The Russian dancer amazes the crowd while a Russian number plays in the background, but when Sonic changes it to a modern song, he and Tails show them how it's done and they eventually win the dance-off. As they prepare to sleep for the big day tomorrow, Tails smiles to himself since he cannot believe he is working with his favorite hero and he thinks of him as a friend. The next morning, Sonic and Tails get to the cave where they are able to find the compass with the help of Longclaw's map. They see an owl statue there and Tails explain that the Echidna clans and owls have been enemies for centuries. This started when the Owl Warriors took away the emeralds from the rightful owners, which were the Echidnas, but only in fear that the Master Emerald could take control over the entire world. Suddenly they are ambushed by Robot-nik and Knuckles, along with the horde of drones. Tails and Sonic try to escape with the compass, with the latter destroying all the drones on the mountain, but when Knuckles hit him, he loses all his rings. Knuckles reveals the reason he is so bitter because after the encounter with Longclaw, his father never returned and he was just a little kid then. So he swore to avenge his father and his tribe. Sonic tells Knuckles that he can feel his pain as he also lost everything that day. Meanwhile, Tails manages to capture Knuckles in a trap, but when Sonic throws the compass toward Tails, he is knocked out by Robot-nik, who gets hold of the compass. As Robot-nik and Knuckles escape, Knuckles questions the integrity of his teammate who mocks Sonic for protecting his friend instead of the compass. Sonic manages to rescue Tails and they flee from the avalanche just in time with Tom's help. Having lost all of his portal rings, Sonic contacts Tom to use his ring to bring them to Hawaii. As this happens, the truth about Randall and his guests is revealed. They are actually agents of Guardian Units of Nation and they arrest Tom, Sonic, and Tails. Rachel is berserk that Tom managed to ruin her day, but even more so that the whole wedding was just a cover. She and Maddie manage to break out Tom, Sonic, and Tails. Randall confesses that he actually fell in love with Rachel even though initially it was all a hoax. Meanwhile, Robot-nik and Knuckles are able to locate an underwater temple that is the hiding place of the Master Emerald. Sonic goes after Robot-nik and Knuckles, alone this time because he is already guilty about Tails' injuries. When Sonic reaches the temple, he engages in a fight with Knuckles to stop him from getting the Master Emerald. He tries to warn Knuckles that Robot-nik wants the emerald for himself, and this shocks Knuckles when he finds it to be true. Robot-nik betrays Knuckles while fusing with the emerald, harnessing all its energy. This makes the temple explode and sink. Robot-nik deserts Knuckles, but Sonic saves him when he is trapped under a pillar. They are saved just in time by Tails, who rescues them in a plane. They know they need to team up against Robot-nik to bring him down. Next, Robot-nik crafts himself a robot with his new powers that looks just like him. Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails work together and try to defeat Robot-nik and his drones, but in doing so, the Master Emerald shatters into Chaos Emeralds. Maddie and Tom save Sonic, and just as Robot-nik is about to crush them, Sonic transforms into Supersonic and is able to knock out Robot-nik. In the end, Sonic brings the Chaos Emeralds to Knuckles, who craft the Master Emerald from them. Maddie and Tom let Knuckles and Tails move in as Sonic's buddies. Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles vow to protect the Master Emerald and keep it from harm.